Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode of This Is Our Life. The first time I tried to make this video, it did not process, it did not upload, so I'm having to make it again. Hopefully this time it'll work. Um, I, for those who know, I'm interested in studying to be an EMT. Our town has a volunteer fire department volunteer ambulance service. Um, And anyway, I was looking at some stuff, and in the process, guess what? I found there's going to be a class. There's going to be two classes in Fitzwilliam, but I don't have my glasses. Now, thanks to my wife, I'm getting my glasses. They're being made, I guess you'd say. But I don't know. I mean, it may take a week, week and a half, maybe week.
Maybe they'll come quicker.
Yeah, maybe they'll come quicker. Then I can see. I can't do any of this until I can see again. I mean, I can see, but I can't read a book. And I have the EMT Basic book and workbook, the EMT Intermediate book and workbook, Pharmacology for EMTs, Tabor's Volume 17, and we have Tabor's Volume 9 in the car. Medicine for Mountaineering, Wilderness Medicine, Where There Is No Doctor, Doom and Bloom medical book. And I have some of my mother's books from nursing school, but those are like, sorry, from the 1950s. Oh, that because it was on the stove while I was cooking the. So we have some of my mother's medical books from when she was in nursing school in the late 50s, early 60s, and a little town called Upper Darby, which is a suburb of Philly in Pennsylvania. A Barefoot Doctor's Manual, the herb book. You know, we found stuff and bought stuff. So I mean, we have an anatomy coloring book, an anatomy atlas.
I gotta get on the paperback swap and straighten that mess out.
So you know, we have what I need to at least get started with, but I can't see. So
he has eyeballs, but
yeah. So it's like it doesn't do any good to have a book on something if I can't read it. But then it is good that we can collect the books, and we have plenty of books to read. So when I do get the glasses, when they do come in, I won't be absent of reading material.
I hate to try and figure out how many books we have right now.
Yeah.
If we actually had to count, we're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, we have books here in the flat, plus we have books
in
storage. And we are looking to move. If anybody knows of a place that's available, please let us know. I'm going to share this with a couple of people on Facebook.
I didn't know we're British.
Well, apartment, sorry.
Well, I mean, that's what they say
yeah.
in England. A flat.
Yeah, but anyway.
Okay.
So, we don't...
To New Hampshire, moved to England.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to live like on Route 12 like we do now.
Well, we don't live right on it, but we live close to it.
Yeah. Now, as for the our town's EMS, it's like a block, 1 or 2 blocks from the house, so I can walk over there. The thing is, I couldn't hear the town horn. I don't always hear the town horn. If there's no sound going on, then I'm more likely to hear it. If I'm outside, I'm more likely to hear it.
So, yeah, you can definitely hear it outside.
Yeah, so they would either have to make the phone call or provide a pager. That way I know I need to get up and go. Otherwise, they're going to go and I'm not going to be there, and I don't know. But it would be volunteer. I'd be volunteering, and by doing that, I believe I would get the exemption from part of the fees required for the classes, which would be very nice to have that exemption. But anyway, so once I get the glasses, one of my top priorities is to start studying this material, so when another class does come up, I'll either know if this is something I actually want to pursue, and if it is, then I'll be able to pursue it. You know, I won't have to go blindly into a class. Now, in college, I took First Aid Health and Safety. It was a semester-long class. I took it because I thought it was worth 3 hours credit, and I thought I had to have 2 PE credits, and this was a PE class, or it was in that department. But see, I didn't realize that a PE class, an activities class, which I had to have 2 credits worth, were only worth 1 hour, 1 credit hour. I thought I was getting away by getting an extra credit by taking this class, but but the First Aid Health and Safety was not a activities class, so I got 3 credits for, but they weren't good to cover my PE.
That's stupid.
Yeah, they've changed it since then, so classes like that are not listed in together, but they should have changed it back then. But so I've taken that. I was a hospice volunteer. I had to take a class for that. So it's not like I don't have training. My mother was an RN. She was an RN forever. So it's not like I've never been around the healthcare
Blood
field.
and guts.
Yeah, and
Ooh, it's gory. Ah!
yeah. So
No shame us in the floor.
yeah. So
that's a good sign you're not going to be an good EMT.
yeah. And then you have this. I don't want this getting into somebody's guts when their torso is open or their chest is open and this falls in there. But like my wife was saying, you know, they probably have something I can put it up in.
Beard cover or something.
Yeah. So anyway, so I'm not going to be able to take the classes that are coming up in Fitzwilliam. Well, that's okay. It's kind of disappointing because actually, I mean, it's not the first time I've looked for classes. And finding a class that is close enough to us so I can actually attend the class is not easy. They just, you know, when they come up, they come up. Now, one thing I would like actually is Keene State College. They actually have a semester-long EMT class.
How much would it cost, I wonder?
Yeah, that would probably be.
Might be an arm and a leg and a foot.
Yeah. And see, I would rather actually take a semester-long class.
You have to deal with those damn kids too.
That's true.
You'd probably be ready to whack one of them after about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
And when I went to college in San Antonio, and even though, you know, I was younger in those days, much later, I went and took an art class, and San Antonio College was changing insofar as you started having older, you know, people our age going back to school. But the vast majority are still kids.
Brats.
Yeah.
Like, but they get pissed off at that.
Yeah. And so the thing is, the semester-long program is actually, I would think, would be better. You have far more time to study and to get into the swing of it. Of course, they may have more requirements than you would in your non-semester-long classes. But it's actually 2 classes because you have your lecture and you have your labs, which is good. I mean, because it's not just 3 hours, 3-hour credits, with, you know, 3 hours a week, be it all on one day or split up between multiple days.
One day.
Yeah. Well, my botany class was.
I tried an English class, and oh my god, I quit like after the first class.
Oh.
I could barely stay awake through the whole 3 hours, from 7 to 10 at night. Well, after working a day or two.
All my English classes were like no more than an hour and a half a day.
Yeah, I mean, but when you're 20-something, you've got some goddamn material you don't know what to fucking do with all of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But you know, so the semester
when
long.
You're in your 40s.
Yeah.
Like,
So the semester long class, I would have the lecture.
You want me to stay awake for 3 hours? Oh God.
Which is 3 hours, and the lab, which is 3 hours. That's 6 hours a week of study, of in class, if you will, which would be very good. But then, you know, I think our criteria.
Study stuff at home too.
Yeah, our criteria, I think, was 2.5 or 3.5. For every hour you spent in class, you did like 2.5 hours of study at home, or 1.5 hours. There was like a formula we used.
Unless you were like Einstein.
Yeah, I mean, I hated those kids that they'd go to class.
So damn smart. They just look at the book and
yeah, you know, they barely paid attention to anything, and they got A's.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, you know, killing myself here, and I'm lucky if I get a C plus, so to speak. You know, I mean.
Well, you know, some of the kids are like the science, like they're in biology class. They were already took biology 1, 2, and 3 in high school, and they're like 10 miles ahead of everybody else. You know? They're almost ahead of the instructor.
Yeah. So so the looky there, a glove.
Yeah, like one guy, Dave Capetta, his dad was a dentist, and his dad let him like be in the office with him, you know, and stuff. And,
so he learned.
Yeah, because he wound up being the student instructor in his dental school. So he was really far ahead of the other kids.
You know, see, one thing I would like to do is to volunteer with these guys and gals, so I can get the experience of watching what they do, listening to them, asking them questions. I'd also like to volunteer over at the emergency room in Keene. So same thing, you know, like I can shadow a doctor, shadow a nurse. You know,
I wonder if they do that as part of the class.
They might. I don't know how they do things up here. I think in San Antonio, maybe in Texas, you had to. I mean, you had requirements where you had to, like, ER time, where you had so many hours that you had to spend in the emergency room, or emergency center, as they like to say today.
Trauma center.
Trauma center. So I don't know. But you know, my glasses will come in soon. Hopefully, not too long after they come in and I start studying, I'll be able to take a class. But it would be really nice if I could audit the freaking class. Audit the class the first time around, which I'm not going to be able to do because they would charge you an arm and a leg and then some to audit a class, if they even let you audit.
Yeah, if they let you audit the class.
So
some places are like,
yeah, they won't let you do that. So
even though you got a master's in business, you know, it's like,
yeah.
Like, excuse me.
Now, sometimes if you know the instructor or the professor, they'll let you just sit in. But I don't know anybody like that up here. So anyway, so you know, we don't have a PDR. I wish we did. No. We don't have a DSM. I used to have the DSM TR, DSM-4 TR. I wish we had that. I don't like the DSM-5. I will not use the DSM-5, although I'd like to look at it. But the DSM-4 TR, I'd like to see that TR's text revision. But not that I necessarily need those to be an EMT, but I would like to volunteer with our local ambulance service. The ambulance is over here, the fire trucks are over there, and the police are right next to the ambulance. But so we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to share this with a couple of people on Facebook, see if they can give me any insight, any suggestions, ideas, what I should or shouldn't be doing, and things like that. But like I said, I can't read right now, so I can't study. But it's disappointing that there's a class, but what's the point? All I could do is sit there, And like my wife was saying earlier, I have hearing loss. I have significant hearing loss. So that may be a problem. If I'm trying to understand what a person is saying and they're mumbling, or if they're speaking so low, I'm just not going to hear them, but my wife might be able to hear them just fine. But I couldn't hear them. So we'll see. No, I don't know sign language anymore. Yes, I took, 4 semesters of it in college. I took it for my foreign language requirement. That particular college, SAC, San Antonio College, they let you, at least at the time, take ASL for your foreign language requirement, but transferring it would be another matter. And then I'm probably going to have to get my high school and college transcripts. That's going to be it's not going to be fun. I probably owe the last college I went to some money. I probably don't want to send them transcripts.
I don't know if they can get away with that.
I don't know. So we'll see. Anyway, bye-bye.